finding a place to call your own in the UK. David here.
Hello, I'm Kelly.
In this lesson, you'll learn how to use questions to gather information. The conversation takes place at the estate agent's office.
The speakers are strangers.
So they'll be using formal English. Okay, let's listen to the conversation.
I like this flat. How much is the rent?
It is £350 per week.
That is a little expensive. Does the flat have a garden?
The building has a garden that everyone can use.
Does the flat have a parking space?
Yes, there is a space for one car.
Okay, I'll take it.
Listen to the conversation one time slowly.
I like this flat. How much is the rent?
It is £350 per week.
That is a little expensive. Does the flat have a garden?
The building has a garden that everyone can use.
Does the flat have a parking space?
Yes, there is space for one car.
Okay, I'll take it.
In this lesson's dialogue, Katrina is renting a flat.
In the UK, especially in bigger cities, space is limited, so you will see many blocks of flats. But flats are just one of many popular types of housing in the UK.
What other houses are popular?
There is also terraced housing, where houses are attached in a row. Then semi-detached, where houses are attached to only one house, and also detached. These are houses that stand alone.
Is renting popular in the UK?
It is, especially with younger people or in big cities. Houses are expensive in the UK, but people do try to buy where they can.
Is there much land with the houses?
Not really. Most houses will have a garden though. They're usually at the back of the house and are very green.
So, lots of trees and plants?
Yeah, gardening is a popular weekend pastime.
People like gardening?
Well, I wouldn't say like so much. More, it has to be done unless you want your house invaded by weeds.
Okay. Now, let's take a look at the vocabulary from this lesson. The first word is
Flat.
a living space, usually one floor, that is in a building with many others.
Flat. Flat.
Next, we have
How much?
question phrase to ask the price of an item.
How much? How much?
Next, we have
Rent.
payment made to live in a house that isn't owned by the occupant.
Rent. Rent.
Next, we have
Week.
unit of 7 days.
Week. Week.
Next, we have
Pound.
British currency.
Pound. Pound.
Next, we have
Expensive.
to cost a lot of money.
Expensive. Expensive.
Next, we have
Garden.
a plot of land, usually attached to a house, where plants, flowers, or grass are grown.
Garden. garden,
Next, we have
parking space,
place reserved for parking a single vehicle.
parking space, parking space,
And lastly,
to take,
to get into one's possession, to capture.
to take, to take.
Let's have a closer look at the usage of some of the words and phrases from this lesson. The first word is
Per week,
meaning every 7 days. There are 2 words in this phrase, so let's break it down.
a week is a period of 7 days, and per means for every. So together, they mean for every 7 days.
So if I pay rent weekly, once every 7 days, I can say that it is per week.
Yeah, you can. You can change week to any time period. If you get your wages every month and it is always £1,000, you can say you get paid £1,000 per month.
Can you say per year too?
Yes, that also works.
Can you give us an example using this word?
Sure. For example, you can say, I exercise 3 times per week.
Which means that every week you exercise 3 times. Okay, what's next?
I'll take it.
Meaning, I'll buy it. When I hear the word take, I don't think about buying things.
No, it gives this image of just taking something by force or grabbing it, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. But that's not what it means.
If we're in a situation where we're buying something, such as in a shop, then I'll take it is a way of saying I want to buy it.
It sounds pretty informal.
It is. A more formal way of saying the same thing is I would like to buy this.
Can you give us an example using this word?
Sure. For example, you can say, I really like that bag, I'll take it.
Which means, I really like that bag and I would like to buy it. Now, on to the lesson focus. In this lesson, you'll learn about asking questions, question words, and intonation when asking questions. We're all about the questions.
We are. In English, we have this sentence form that is called interrogative sentences. These are sentences that ask questions, and they're very important if you want to keep a conversation going. The easiest way to make a question is with a question word.
Can you tell us some more question words?
Sure, most of the common question words start with WH, so you often hear them called WH words too. The most common are what, when, where, who, which, and why.
They all begin with WH.
Exactly. The other most common one is how, which breaks the pattern but is easy to remember.
So we have our question words. Let's make a question.
Okay, choose the question word that best fits your question. We'll use what, and we can use this to ask about a specific something. Then you need an auxiliary verb like did.
So, what did?
Yep. Then we need maybe a pronoun and definitely a verb.
What did you watch?
Add an object so we know exactly what the question is asking, and you're done.
What did you watch last night?
That's it. I watched the news last night. What did you watch last night?
I watched a film.
Now, you may have noticed when we asked those questions that our voices changed as the sentence went on.
That's right. Our pitch raised towards the end of the sentence, like this. What did you watch last night?
Raising the pitch like this makes it sound like you don't know the answer. It just sounds more like a question.
Let's hear another example.
Let's take one from the dialogue. How much is the rent?
Or how about, when is your birthday?
That's a popular question. Where do you live?
Another popular question. I can hear what you mean. It's like hearing the question mark.
It makes questions really clear, doesn't it?
It does. Okay, that's all for this lesson. Thank you for listening, everyone, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye. I like this flat. How much is the rent?
It is £350 per week.
That is a little expensive. Does the flat have a garden?
The building has a garden that everyone can use.
Does the flat have a parking space?
Yes, there is a space for one car.
Okay, I'll take it.